Hi Mr. Mutakin, I'm Jui from Section 2. These are my group mates, Jening, Anglio and Kake. So our group will be doing Char Kway Teow as our business to be expanded to Japan. I'll pass it on to Anglio for product info. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Goh Leong and I'm going to talk about the product info. So the product we choose is the Char Kway Teow. Char Kway Teow are among one of the most popular food when it comes to the Asian dishes. It can now easily be found elsewhere around Southeast Asia countries such as Malaysia, Singapore and Indonesia, which the dish serves in a little different way due to its location and taste preferences. Despite the different variety of it, Char Kway Teow dish still cannot be linked away from its first found home country, Malaysia, where you can get the most original taste of it. Char Kway Teow is originated in Penang Island of Malaysia and it has been founded since the 1950s. As spoken and read in words, Char Kway Teow came from Malaysia Hokkien peoples. In Hokkien, they are like char means fry, kway means cake, and teow brings the meaning of noodle or thread. When it comes to judging on how good the char kway teow has been prepared, usually we can know it through the wok smell or the breath of the char kway teow. A traditional and well-prepared char kway teow have a little sweet taste and sharp taste. The dish can be done by using the just nice portion of the materials and frying it with the best suit temperature and also with the right kind of skill. When it comes to the strengths of the char kway teow, there's a little bit of story to be told. In the past, char kway teow has been sold by the fishing and agricultural workers. The making of the dish are mainly from those leftover meats or seafood from their daily jobs, along with the pork lats and noodles. They usually sell these dishes to the laborers and workers, and the main reason behind it is here. Char Kway Teow contains a lot of nutrients. They are high in proteins. Also, they are cheap in price, and in the whole working, it is quite low in cost also. A plate of Char Kway Teow is usually priced between 4.5 ringgit Malaysia to until 6.50 ringgit Malaysia. So it's actually depending on the size and the portion, also as well on the popularity of the Char Kway Teow, which actually are quite reasonably cheap for a satisfying and mouth-watering meal. No doubt the cost in making of the Char Kway Teow are comparatively low. It is from our research, we know that a plate of Char Kway Teow costs about 3 ringgit in the whole making. Being one of the highly rated local dishes in Malaysia, Char Kway Teow has a high market valuation as the dish has been prepared not just by the local but also foreigners that travel around. Char Kway Teow doesn't just serve as a meal, but at the same time it provides the chance for the economy to grow stronger. With the word of mouth and internet, there are more travelers around the world willing to try on this renowned dish. So we can conclude that there are quite some demand in this dish.
Hi, I'm Johnny. Now I'm going to talk about the type of entry that we're going to use for expand the Char Kway Teow into Japan. According to research, there are no Char Kway Teow in Japan nowadays. As what we all know, the Japanese are absolutely love to eat noodles food, especially for ramen. Char Kway Teow is one kind of noodles food in Malaysia or Singapore, which is made from fried rice noodles. Hence, Japan has become a good market to expand Char Kway Teow to foreign country for us. As a result of Japanese love to eat noodles, but they never tried this Malaysian noodles food. People are usually willing to try something different due to their curiosity. Besides, Japan has become a famous tourist destination. Today, a lot of Malaysians and Asian people always go there for travel. If they are not used to the Japanese food, they will buy char kway teow since it is come from their own country. So we must seize the opportunity to expand this famous Malaysian food before other countries bring it into Japan. There are several entry modes to bring in char kway teow to Japan from Malaysia, which are exporting, turnkey project, licensing, franchising, joint venture, and wholly owned subsidiary. Actually, we cannot identify which market entry mode is right or most suitable. Each mode has its own advantages and disadvantages. The entry mode that we prefer in order to bring char kway teow into Japan is joint venture with a firm of host country. Joint venture can simply define as two or more different firms jointly own a firm at the same time. Since there are no char kway teow in Japan, the cost and risk will be extremely high if we set up a new business in Japan. Joint venture is good for us since there are a lot of Japanese restaurants open in Malaysia nowadays. For example, Menya Musashi. It is a restaurant that famous with its ramen in Shinjuku, Tokyo, but also has a high popularity in Malaysia. Therefore, we can boldly try to introduce char kway teow into a famous shop that located in Japan due to their high reputation. The Japanese can trust them at having chance to try or experience the taste of this Malaysian food. In terms of Menya Musashi, they will have a great chance to bring something different back to their own country and enhance their cooperation relationship with Malaysia. There are a lot of advantages for joint venture. Firstly, joint venture is only a temporary arrangement between two parties. If char kway teow is not loved by Japanese, we can stop the expansion and avoid the big amount of money lost immediately. Besides, the risk and cost was shared by two parties. Thus, we don't need to bear all the responsibility. Joint venture firms can also benefit from knowledge of the local partner about their local conditions, language, culture, business, and political system. As mentioned before, we joint venture with a Japanese firm to expand our product into Japan. We don't need to care about those language problems because they can introduce our food by Japanese language to their customer. Thus, we don't need to spend money and time for language training anymore. Joint venture also satisfied them with the political consideration of enter a foreign market. The other advantages is firms are able to get new expertise and capacity without any investment. For example, we already have the skill of cooking char kway teow. Menya Musashi don't need to send their employee for cooking training anymore, since we can directly teach them how to cook char kway teow. Then they can just add one new dishes in their menu. In contrast, we don't need to spend money for expertise this food due to Menya Musashi has a lot of customers. Last but not least, the parties of joint venture have the same goal. Therefore, we don't need to worry about the one party is paying less effort and money to achieve goal. They are sharing the responsibility at the same time. On the other hand, there are some disadvantages for joint venture also. The first is the firm is facing risk while giving control of its technology to its partner. Besides, the leadership gaps were also a problem for joint venture. Joint venture has to decide the leadership responsibility should give to whom. The leader from different countries will compete with each other, thus the conflict and battle for control will occur. For example, we offer Menya Musashi the cooking skill of char kway teow. They sell it in their restaurant in Tokyo. We provide the professional skill to them, but they are operating the business. It is hard to decide who represents the top manager of the joint venture. Then, different cultures and management style will also be a big problem, which will affect their cooperation. The firms may not have the tight control to realize experience curve or location economics.
Hi, I'm Jui. So I'll be doing a foreign market analysis of Char Kway Teow to Japan. Before expanding a new food Char Kway Teow into a foreign market, a market analysis on Japan has been carried out. Under demographic factor, population Japan has an estimated population of 127 million with a growth rate of minus 0.19%. In the future, the declining population will result in a neutral or even negative influence on the demand for food products. Nevertheless, introducing Char Kway Teow that provides will assist in boosting positive influence on Japanese demanding for food products. With a strong health system and good dietary habits, life expectancy in Japan is one of the highest in the world, with an average of 82.7 years. Japan is a homogeneous market with only 1.9% of the population from other ethnic groups, including Koreans at 0.5%, Chinese at 0.4%, and other at 0.6%. Under economic factor, Japan is facing its worst economic challenge since World War II. In 2008, the country entered into a recession, while the Japanese financial sector was not heavily exposed to subprime mortgages or their derivatives. A sharp downturn in business investment and global demand for Japan's export pushed Japan further into recession. The economic status of a consumer group should be considered in making product decisions. This is the key concern in emerging markets. Therefore, expanding Char Kway Teow to Japan would be a good choice since it is considered low-cost food and would not consider as an expensive food due to the availability of the ingredient used to make Char Kway Teow in Japan. Moreover, based on research, the average income of annual wages for full-time and full-year equivalent employee in the total economy in Japan are relatively steady. Under political factor, in 2008, the Ministry of Health has actually introduced a series of compulsory health checks aimed at pushing responsibility for one's health back onto the individual. In order to lift some of the burden on the national healthcare system, people are given personal health targets, and if they are not reached, he or she is levied with larger national insurance or even fines. Policy makers are targeting lifestyle diseases such as obesity, diabetes, and lung cancer. This government policy will be a driver for health-oriented food such as low salt, low sugar, and low-fat products. Consumption and demand for organic foods, fortified drinks, and nutritional supplements and vitamins are rising. Char Kway Teow has all the elements of a complete meal. The egg contents, combined with the yellow and the flat rice noodles, provide a broad spectrum of nutrition, including proteins and essential amino acids. In fact, one serving of Char Kway Teow provides 35% daily amino acids requirement. Under social cultural factor, Japanese consumer desire high quality, nutritious, tasty, and safe food at a reasonable price. Product freshness and important and influence purchasing decisions for foods and beverages. Japanese consumers are skeptical about food safety, particularly older consumers who have a low level of trust and growing concern about Anson and Anshin due to recent food scandals. Char Kway Teow has just been added to BBC's top 10 healthy noodle dishes, described as a unique blend of seafood, cheese, and noodles you won't find anywhere else. Hard cold and prawn paste, which is used in Penang variety, Char Kway Teow may be high in sodium, but studies have shown that fermentation process makes prawn paste a good source of live bacterial cultures. and may reduce the risk of colon cancer. Cultured bacteria in fermented foods can help boost colon and intestinal health. That brings opportunity to Char Kway Teow of is being expanded to Japan. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Chong Hake. So this is a brief summary of a marketing mix. I'm going to be presenting about marketing mix. Basically, it's a product, price, promotion, and place. So to put it into these four aspects is basically product is what to sell, price is how to sell it, promotion is how to sell, and then place is where to sell. Okay, so here, recommended product standardization. So basically, what is recommend? We recommend that we recommend why we bring Japan Char Kway Teow into Japan is because Japanese and Chinese food are basically quite similar. They are very exposed to rice noodles, cockles, eggs, prawn, and bean sprout, and soy sauce and chili. So you see, these raw ingredients are basically part of what their everyday meals. Japanese, they like to eat spicy, such as wasabi and whatnot. So what we think that we can just standardize this product into, we don't have to really change much in terms of lower the spiciness, such as if let's say you bring this to the Western world, we have to lower the spiciness level, as because Westerners and Chinese, our tastes aren't really that similar. But if let's say we introduce to an Asian country, that will be much simpler. We don't really have to make much modifications as to how it tastes, and then they can really enjoy, and most likely they will enjoy this in a raw part. Like, I mean, yeah. So okay, so the price customization, that for the price we have to customize it, as because we have to keep up with the Japanese standards and the currency exchange especially. So if let's say in Japan, the average meal costs between 1,000 to 3,000 yen, which is about 40 to 120 ringgit per meal. So that is their average spending. Whereas in Malaysia, it's only 7 to 15 ringgit. So that on that point, we have to customize. Okay, so a recommended place standardization. So basically, if let's say you want to set up a store in Japan, we can't be putting a Char Kway Teow store with a Japanese decor. So we have to change it to our natural heritage. That means like putting more bamboos, get the Malaysian feel, like the hawker style feel that we are very familiar with in Malaysia. So we can't be using the Japanese way of decorating to attract Japanese customers, because we don't even sell Japanese food to begin with. Okay, recommended promotion customization. Therefore, this implies that if a product was to be marketed as a Chinese dish instead of a Malaysian dish, we will be at a disadvantage. So in terms of market and product positioning, this way we have a bigger target audience and thus more revenue, because we have to promote it in such a way that is from our Chinese heritage, rather than a Japanese heritage. Alright, that's all. Thank you very much.
I've been reading books of old, the legends and the myths.